All right, this is our week in review video. We're doing one of these every week. And let's talk about your face to start off this video.
Well, it's called skin cancer. It's not a big deal. A lot of people get it.
So not a big deal.
You need to get it cut out. And this one here was a little bit bigger than usual, and they need to bring in a plastic surgeon. And so when I told my wife, your mom, that I'm going to go see a plastic surgeon, she got all excited. She thought that the plastic surgeon was going to fix this. You know what I mean? And so when I came back from the plastic surgeon and she saw this didn't get any better, she was a little disappointed.
Oh my goodness.
You know, she was hoping that the plastic surgeon would make me look younger, but I have a solution to that. Okay, well, first off, I can remove this.
Okay.
Okay, because...
So why are you wearing it then?
Well, because it was supposed to be covering a scab, but I think I'm okay without it for now. It was 7 stitches.
Ouch.
Yeah.
7, that's a
7.
lot.
So, do you have Scotch tape?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it.
Scotch tape!
If you put it like this and you pull it back.
How is this our week in review? You're like being...
No, you're just not...
Goofy.
You don't understand how nice this is going to look when I'm done. But I can't see what I'm doing. I was hoping you're supposed to pull it back like that.
You're gonna pull your hair out.
Is that better?
No, you added like 3 more wrinkles right here.
No, I did not. Then the forehead thing.
Just wear a hat. You'll hide your forehead. Oh my goodness gracious.
I look 10 years younger already. Okay, so the week in review. I've had this cut out.
Yes.
And then stitch up. And
I did a lot of work for you because you were in bed.
I didn't think it would take so long. It took a long time to recover. Yeah. It got infected. It started turning like real dark red, and it was like painful every day. And I'm a wimp also. When I get sick,
yes,
I like to. I'm a wimp. Yeah.
So I was in the office doing lots of work, and one day I got a call from my dad.
Hello?
He tried to work. The first day back at work, he tries. I don't even know what you were doing.
Well, we're putting new fence up at the ranch, all the pastures, and Jacob, the guy who's doing the main work on the fence, he was putting up their little connectors to hold the electric fence up so the horses don't push against the fence.
Right.
And I needed to buy, he said he ran out, so I needed to go buy some more.
Okay.
So I needed to see how far down the fence he went.
Oh.
So I pulled over, and when I stopped, I couldn't get started. But the ground was like level. So
it was muddy.
It was muddy, but it was
very
level.
Muddy.
It's not a 4-wheel drive truck.
Why would you, as a farmer of 2 farms, buy a 2-wheel drive truck? Please tell me that.
My other truck is 4-wheel drive. But
yeah, you bought that after you had a 2-wheel drive
and
truck.
that had stuff in the back of it, so I couldn't take that one. So anyway, I have a skid loader that's called a track loader. It has a skid loader with tracks, so went there and I drove that, and then you steered and pulled me. I pulled me out.
Yep. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
Took away from my time in the office, but
So what else this week did we do? We have a house at the ranch, and it's a huge. It's really big rooms, big old farmhouse, and it's really cool.
Very cool.
And Rachel designed it, and we fixed it up and stuff. And so we had people from Ukraine who were caught in the fire, the war.
Wow.
Crossfire, the war, the battle.
Okay.
And their English wasn't real good then. It's getting better now, but he's explaining this to me. He said, there was boom, 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 and we had to leave quick. And so apparently the war was getting close, and the bombs were close, and they just ran out of the house, and they didn't take anything with them. Yeah. And so they ended up going to Poland first, and they have relatives not about a half hour from here, and you know their relatives.
Yep.
And that's how we made the connection. And we thought, well, we'll help them out. So we let them stay in that house for, I don't know, a couple months.
More than a couple. It's been about 4 months.
It's been a bunch.
Yeah.
And so we're not charging them. We're just trying to help them out and everything, because we're just nice people. That's what we do.
Sometimes too nice. But we'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
So we have a house on the ranch farm, and we had renters there. They left, and then it happened to be open when my friend's relatives moved here from Ukraine. So they lived there for 4 months. I don't feel like we explained that. So that is why we're talking about Ukrainians. So they moved here. They're super great, made awesome friends. But it's time for us to rent the house out again. We can't let them live there for free forever.
They knew it was temporary when they came, and they were very grateful and very friendly. They become friends, really.
Oh, for sure.
And so they now have moved out. And so they're, and they're in a good place. We gave them time to get a driver's license and look for employment and that kind of thing. So now we're trying. We were looking to rent it out. So we have a couple who were under a lease. Well, we had a lease with another couple. They actually put money down, the first month rent and the security deposit. Then after they did that, they changed their mind.
Yeah, and what did you do with their security deposit?
Well, legally we didn't need to give it back, but we gave it back because I just felt that was the right thing to do.
See, now this is why we make really bad landlords, because we're hurting ourselves by helping people.
Yeah.
We need that money to pay the mortgage.
It's all good. Yeah. So then we found another couple, and they now have signed an agreement to rent it. They just signed the papers yesterday afternoon.
Correct.
And then you had a showing last night.
Which I did not cancel because with our track record with this house, I wanted a backup.
In case the other people
they backed out.
And
yes.
How did it go? I don't know. You didn't tell me.
I did not tell you.
I want to know. How did it go?
They showed up in a very nice pickup truck. Probably $70,000 or $80,000 pickup truck. So I'm like, this is a good sign. Okay. I showed them the house as we walked through. They loved it. They're like, this is perfect. This is huge. Wow, so much character. The guy wanted to know if there were ghosts in the house.
Goats?
No, not a goat.
Ghost. Not a goat. Not
a goat.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. Ghost.
I'm like,
Ghost. What?
I don't think so.
So what happened when you said no? He was no longer interested.
I said, I don't know. And we just so happened to be standing in the funeral parlor room of the house.
It used to be. So back then, it went like 200 years ago when people died. Yeah. The body was taken, in this area, the bodies were taken to that room in that house.
Yes, it was the funeral parlor for the town. I don't know, this guy was all about that room. Like, he just wanted the house for that room, and he's like, I'm gonna live in there, I'm gonna spend all the time in there. So that was like weird. So as I kept talking to them, asking them questions, I learned that they currently have a house together. They acquired their mother's house, I'm assuming through an estate or something. So they're both living there with, they each have their own child. So there's 4 of them living in this house. And the house is upside down on the mortgage. So he was saying, they're paying $3,000 a month right now for this house, and they can do it, but then they have no life. They don't have any extra. So for this home, we're asking $2,500 a month. The house is ginormous, guys. It is 3,000 square feet. We renovated the entire thing. We didn't gut the bathrooms, but we prettied them up. And I feel $2,500 is very fair for this house.
High ceilings. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's nice, yeah.
So we get to the end of the showing, and he goes, is the price negotiable?
Oh, my. Oh, my. The first 2 couples said the exact same thing. And you even have in the listing, look, it's $2,500. If you can't afford it, don't bother coming. Yeah. But yet they do that.
Is
this like normal, or is it just us?
Person. Yeah, take a guess. What did he want to pay for the home?
$2,200.
No, $2,000. He wanted $500 off a month. I felt like they wasted my time.
They wasted your time.
That was so wrong. So wrong. I couldn't even imagine doing something like that to somebody.
Well, the house is situated in the middle of horses. I mean, wrapped around 2 sides.
3 sides, really.
Well, then I was going to say in the back is another one. So it's right in the middle of horses. It's
amazing.
So cool, and
amazing.
It has a good yard. It's 2-acre yard, so it has a good sized yard.
Yard for kids to play in, and then there's just horse pasture. I mean, you're like country.
And then there's the creek. The kids can play in the creek. It doesn't get real deep, but it's deep enough. It's a lot of fun. Your kids play there.
We play there.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. And then I didn't fill you in this morning. The people that signed the contract yesterday.
Okay. Now what?
So first of all, yesterday after they left, you realized their check was written by her mom.
Her mom. And
her mom wrote the check for their security deposit, which is weird. She just messaged me asking what kind of heat is in the home.
Oh, you're kidding me. How much time? I mean, when they're there, we explain it to them completely. We show them the heater. We tell them how it works. We tell them what the electric bill is going to be. We tell them. So why would she do that?
She came and looked at the house twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
So are they backing out?
I don't know. She didn't say they were.
Oh.
You ready for this?
Okay. What?
You might want to sit down.
Uh-oh. All right.
So, after recording our, saga about the rental house,
Yeah.
the people that just signed their lease backed out.
Oh, my word.
And they want to know when they can come pick up their security deposit.
Oh, my word. That's crazy.
Like, as a landlord, we try our hardest to be kind and to have patience.
And transparent. We don't hide stuff. We tell them the stuff when they're there.
Yeah, so it's just really a business I would never want to get in. I don't know how you all do it, that rent
You mean
homes.
renting, yeah.
Yeah, because let's talk about some renting stories, right? We've got some stories. So how do we find renters? You've had rental homes over the course of the years.
Well, when I was younger, the cool thing was to have rental homes and rent them out and make residual income and that kind of thing. But now I have 2 rental properties, but it's not by choice. I bought the property. Well, it is by choice, I guess. But
yeah, it's by choice.
I bought the properties as investment. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, do I just leave the house as empty? We go,
the properties had other uses other than the rental.
Yeah,
home.
like the horse farm. I mean, it was to rent it out for people to board their horses at the facility, and the other rental is a machine shop or a maintenance shop,
which we're actually sitting
down
above.
below, and then the apartment upstairs is where we are now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Heather. So anyway, so I don't want to buy a house to rent.
Correct.
It's too much of a hassle.
Correct.
But in the past, some of the ones we've done, I sort of got it down to a science as to the best way to do it. So what you do.
So we can review. I got 2 kids, and it's snowing today, so they're home. So we might get interrupted. Yeah. So what would you do when you rented in the past?
So I marketed it for. Back then it was newspapers.
Right.
Now we do it online, marketing that that we have a house for rent, and so I would run an ad in the newspaper for a few days, and then I would schedule appointments for people to come see over a 2-day period. So for 2 days, I'm showing that house to 2 different people, and then I have a sheet that I rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. The condition of their car, how they dressed, their vocabulary, how well they're spoken, what kind of job they have, do they drive a car, and just different things like that. And I wouldn't let them see it, but because after you show it to enough people, it gets confusing as to who's who. And then what I do is I call them, I say, are you still interested in renting my house? And if they say yes, then I say, would it be okay if I stop by sometime to see your house, because that's what your house looks like now is what my house is going to look like after you live there. Right. And of course they always say, oh yeah, sure, just let me know when you're coming. I said, well, I'm here now. I'm sitting in your driveway. I'm coming in now. And of course that catches them totally off guard. Yeah. I don't know if that's even legal. Well, why wouldn't it be?
I mean, this is a long time ago, so back then it could have been legal.
I still would do it.
Yeah.
And so I went in the house, and the one time the house was great. So all right, we signed the agreement right there, and that is the only time I rented a house to people that the house was nicer that when they moved out than it was when they moved in.
Most of the time, every other experience, which you've had many, the houses were bad. Yeah. Like gutting the carpet.
Well, the one house. The lady seemed really nice. She had a daughter, and so I went for an end. She started getting late in making her payments.
Never a good sign.
Then she was delinquent and didn't pay at all. So I said, I need to stop by to see you sometime. She said, okay. So I stopped unannounced. And
Common theme here.
I went in, I sat down in the living room beside her, and on the end table, okay, I don't know.
This is a family-friendly podcast, so
well, I don't know a whole bunch about drugs, but there was what they call a line of like powdered stuff there with a razor blade, so I knew it wasn't good, and so I told her she needed to leave. She needed to vacate. And she did.
She needed a vacation.
She did. She needed a vacation. Yeah. She took a long vacation.
What not to do if you want to rent. Do not call somebody with a house and say, I just want to let you know off the bat, I have really bad credit. Don't call and say, you know, I've got my uncle and my 2 kids and my best friend and 5 dogs. We want to live in your house. But I also don't make enough to cover the rent. And my best friend is a recovering drug addict. But we've pulled them off the street, so they're good. Don't say that because your first impression matters, okay? We are, I think, very kind and likable people.
Sure.
And we understand in life there are hard things that we go through. Like, we've been through hard times. So what you should do, if that is you with bad credit or with like all these random people and 5 dogs living with you, okay, don't tell me that right away. Let's set up a time to meet in person so we can build the connection and the relationship. Right. Because when you start off a conversation that way, I'm just going to want to write you off and move to the next person. But there are instances, like, for example, if you've never heard of Dave Ramsey, check him out. And he has a story of bankruptcy. Like, him and his wife made some poor financial decisions. They went bankrupt and lost everything. However, right now, Dave Ramsey is one of the top richest people in the world. He's got a lot of money because he made good financial decisions. He learned from his mistakes. So if you have bad credit, don't call and say, I have bad credit, like first thing out of your mouth, right? We understand, like, we've made poor choices financially. Like, I think everybody has at some point. So let's start off the right way and start off by saying, hey, I'd like to get to know you. I'd like to see the home. We build that relationship, and then you can kind of share your story. So
the only person who doesn't make bad choices is the person who doesn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you can succeed is by making decisions, and no human being will get all the decisions right.
Right.
Failure is part of success. If you're
Absolutely.
not failing, I guarantee you're not succeeding.
Well, you're not trying.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, you try and you make mistakes. I think of Thomas Edison, 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Yep.
10,000, guys. That's a lot of mistakes. But it really wasn't a mistake. It was a learning curve, right? Like, each time he learned how not to do it, and he grew, and now he invented the light bulb that we all use today. Yep. So while we're on the topic of rentals, when you took a little break from entrepreneurship, you were a maintenance supervisor at a rental complex.
Apartment complex. Yeah, just over 100 units.
You have one rental story that I feel is worthy of this episode before we close. Can you tell us? I know you know this
I think
story.
I know which one it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I hired a crew.
Okay.
And so I was in charge of the crew. And so we go into the apartment after people leave.
Sure.
And we inspect it.
Right.
And so we were in this one apartment. There's the young guy. He was in high school, and he just started. I think it might have been his first day.
Oh no.
And so I said, we're just going to check out the apartment to see what it looks like. So we walk in to the kitchen, fine. We then walk into the living room, fine. We walk into the bedroom, and I'm standing there and saying, I see something on the windowsill. I didn't tell him this. I'm sort of looking.
Wait. So before you tell any more, the apartment actually looked fine. Like, the people that lived there took care of it?
Oh, no, it was disgusting.
Oh, then why are you saying fine?
It was dirty. The fine part is
right.
they moved out. There was no furniture left.
Right. Keep going.
Yes,
all right.
They didn't leave a pile of junk or stuff like that. So sure enough, there was a snake. And when I say snake, it was huge. It was huge. I think it was like 7 feet long. It was like that big around. Okay? And it was on the windowsill.
I didn't know it was that big.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
It's been a while since I've heard
I said to him, I said, just do what I say. I said, go to the door, we're going to leave. And he worked for me for the corn maze.
Oh, we did?
Prior to that.
It?
Yeah, I forget what his name was.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, so we walk out, and I said, just follow me. So we go out around, and then one of the maintenance guys was there and said, hey, come here. Look in that window.
Wait, were you outside of the apartment?
We were outside the apartment at that point.
Okay,
We walked around the outside of the building.
Okay.
And the maintenance guy, who's a little bit older, he was in his 30s, he saw it, he said, whoa! And then the other guy, eventually he saw it, and there was this huge snake all wrapped up on the windowsill. And music to my ear. The other maintenance guy that's been working there for a while, he said, cool, I love snakes. Music to my ear, because I wasn't going to go in there to get rid of that thing.
Why? Oh, couldn't you call somebody? Like a reptile tamer person? I don't know.
He went, I said, you're okay? He said, yeah, I'll go get it. He went and got it. And then I said, now I want you to go back in and inspect it completely. Inspect every inch in that house, okay? So he's in the kitchen. He pulls the drawer open, fine. Pulls the drawer open, fine. Pulls the drawer open. Oh, there's another one. And he thinks, it can't be that big because it's in this little drawer where like silverware utensils would be in. He pulls it out, and as he's pulling it out, it's the same size as the one on the windowsill. He said, well, they have this strange ability of making themselves fit into small spaces or something. I
don't remember all this. All I remember was you found a snake in an apartment. It was in a drawer. That's all I
He said, it turns out, okay, that both of them were boa constrictors. Yeah. So.
Wow, what a way to end this podcast. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, a week in review. This is our lives and the stories we could tell. You just gotta subscribe to hear some more stories that we could tell.
Next week will be more upbeat and enlightening, maybe.
This has been a week in review. We will see you in the next video.
See you then.
There you go. Okay. That was lovely.
Corn fusing.
No, we didn't even talk about the corn maze. You can't use that pun. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, shucks. I'm sorry.
Oh.